Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be looking at some dungeon loot that has recently come out. There's a new setup for the new dungeons that are here. We're gonna be working on that. I'm very interested to see what was gonna happen. I just want to go down and go through like a gear breakdown, see what we're gonna be looking out for. I currently don't have it on the screen, so this is your spoiler warning. I'm gonna put spoiler right on the video, Dragonflight spoiler, so that way if you don't want to be spoiled, you don't have to watch it. So let's bring it up. Cool. All right. So new dungeons, we already have them. We have a list of them. We're gonna go through them. We're just gonna be looking at loot. I tried looking at some abilities earlier to see like mechanics and stuff on mechanics. That'd be way too long of a video, I feel. So instead, we're gonna just be looking at loot and see what our loot's gonna be looking for, what you should be looking for as a prop paladin, and as like a tank as well. All right.
Mic off.
Ooh.
Mic on.
Okay. So new dungeons. We have Ultimate Legacy of Tyr. For those of you who are into the lore, you know that Tyr is one of the guardians of the old gods. They were supposed to be there with like Mimiron and Freya and Thorum and Hodir. Hodir? That doesn't sound right. Um, maybe Hodir. So they're supposed to be around with them. We don't know what happened to Tyr, or maybe we do. I'm not entirely sure. My lore is a little rusty. Ultiman, it looks like it's going to be like almost like not redone, but like a new version of the old Ultiman. And you can kind of already see why I think that it'll be connected to the old Ultiman right here with the Lost Dwarves. Tazelgeth Academy, we got Ruby Life Pools, Halls of Illusion, the Azure Vault, Neltharius, the Knockhold Offense, and Brackenhide Hollow. So let's just go down. We're going to be looking at loot. So, Lost Dwarves. This is going to be a Lost Vikings fight. Rehash, you can already see we're fighting Balrog, Eric the Swift, and Olaf. And they have mechanics I already kind of know how the fight seems like it's going to be played out. But here's just looking at loot. Um, I'm already a little disappointed by these three items right here. In Uldaman, you can get these kind of things of like Eric's boots, a helmet, and a shield, but they have a special effect where like the boots increased haste, which these are treads of the Swift. They don't even have haste on them, which I think is insane. Right? Throw some speed on there. I think that would be funny. Old Seafarer's headpiece. So this is a plate, crit haste, not ideal for tanks, but the haste is really good for paladin tanks. You want to be looking out for haste and mastery. And then the stout shield. We're already starting off first boss. We can get a helm, and a shield. All right. Anyway, so there's a trinket that it's increases agility, strength, and intellect. It's a on-use trinket. Call the Lost Dwarves to rain down cannon fire at your location, dealing fire damage every second to all enemies in the area for 8 seconds. While standing in the barrage, your attacks have a chance to deal additional fire damage. I like that it's an on-use, and I like that it's like at my target location. I don't have to like click it and then like drag it over. I don't have to create like a cast at cursor macro. I don't have to do that. That's very exciting. Um, might be good for tanks. I think it would be a good starter tank trick, but you're gonna want something a little bit more defensive later on. So let's look at bro match. A wrist. I think that's all bro. Oh, and we have a neck piece that we're definitely gonna want. This haste mastery neck piece. We're gonna want that. Nothing else for paladin tank off of bro match. Third boss. Let's take a look at this. Ring that you could probably use. Oh, and then there's this resonating matrix. So let's take a look at this. So you can use it. Scatter resonating shards around you that last for 30 seconds. If an enemy enters a resonating shard radius, it detonates, dealing fire damage split amongst all enemies. While the trinket is equipped, if you are affected by a crowd control ability, drop a resonating shard at your location. I find this really interesting. It feels like more of a DPS thing, but almost like I'm curious how many bosses or PvE instances are gonna have these ideas of crowd controlling people. Because if there's not a lot, you're not getting a lot of value out of this. Because I think it lasts for 30 seconds. If I had to guess, this is gonna be like a freaking 1 to 2 minute cooldown on this. I don't know how useful that's gonna be, uh, but I'm interested to see how it kind of flows. I would obviously pick it up. I would obviously tool with it. Other than that, it's just the ring. Uh, Emberon, already getting some plate hands. Get some hands, some nail stuff. One-handed mace. This is an agility mace, so not for us tanks. That's totally fine. There's a gun off of this first one, off of the last boss. But this last bit, there's not much. We're definitely going to be running Ultimate just for perhaps these first two bosses. No, what am I thinking? Yeah, first two bosses to get that neck piece. Definitely want that neck piece, I'm thinking. Let's keep going. Tasselgeth Academy. Okay. We got some cloth chest. Oh, another trinket. Alright. Equipped. Your healing spells on friendly players have a chance to designate them star player, pepping them up, increasing their haste and your haste. That's it. That's really cool. What is this? What is this? Scrot. Oh, it's an academy. And of course, they only have one boss, and I already like the style of this. What is this? Okay, a trinket. So this is a basher club. Wind up your basher's club for 2.5 seconds. If the target is still in melee range, crack them for damage. If you're at a distance, you hurl the club at them. 45-second cooldown. That just seems funny. I think it would be hilarious to just sit there as a tank and you're just like, batter up, boys. There's nothing else. It's just you would if you're a tank, you're running this for the trinkets. And I don't blame you. These are not that trinket's hilarious. Just for trinket, I should say. Not that I think that the coach's whistle will be terrible, but I don't know how much group healing you're gonna be doing as a tank. Probably none if you're like a demon hunter or or a um, a warrior. But I don't think you're gonna be doing a lot if you're the other classes that can heal. All right, it's a coach's whistle, a goaltender's fire. This is good flavor. This is the flavor that I like. You know, I like this kind of like pattern flavor. The Basher Club, Dragon Games. Okay, Ruby Life Pools. Stick a look. Okay. Immediately we got another trinket. All right. Your spells and abilities have a chance to call a Ruby Whelpling to scorch enemies near your target for 6, and then raise your critical strike. Obviously, a DPS trinket. We're not as paladin, we're not really concerned with critical strike, but I don't think it would be a bad thing. I think if I got this, I wouldn't be like, it's unusable. I would probably use it for the first bit, kind of like that the bombardment one that we get from Lost Dwarves, Lost Vikings. I'm just gonna go. They're Lost Vikings. They got some plate boots. Moving right along. So, okay. Another agility mace. That's interesting. Again, seeing a lot of agility mace. I'm not seeing a lot of strength maces. I'm not seeing. We saw one two-hander, one saw one pole arm. A lot of agility stuff. Anyway, okay, we're not using that. And then the Horn of Collapse Flame. A meteor falls in front of you, damaging enemies for large. Rolls towards Fuller, dealing small fire damage to all enemies. That is also really. I think that's a good tank trinket. These kind of abilities that are like deals damage at your location, if in melee range, all this stuff. These are all like they're DPS trinkets and they do damage. But I think that they have good tank usage. I haven't found one that's strictly defensive yet, so we're looking out for that. So that was Kokia. Kokia. I'm gonna say Kokia. Uh, some Melodressa Chillworn, Kokia Blazehoof, and then Kayaka and Eckhart Stormvane. All right, this is an optional reagent. So yeah, some mail, some cloth, a shield. A shield. That's pretty good. An agility axe. I think we can assume that all these things that are like agility, like this is an agility two-hander. I think we can assume that all these that are like this is an agility one-hander, this is an agility two-hander. It'll also be an agility. It'll also be a strength one-hander and two-hander. So we've already technically run in, but I have no way to confirm that. Trinket, not yet implemented, and a dagger. That's our second dagger, I think. Not a whole lot of daggers going on. All right, Halls of Infusion. I think we're starting to run into like this is like, oh, we don't have a lot here. So this is the elemental, PhD elemental. Uh, don't worry, he's very acidic and/or basic. Burgeoning, burgeoning seed. Taking damage has a chance to create a life boom near your location for 5 seconds. Stepping over it applies overgrowth, gaining high health regeneration over 10 seconds and increasing your size for the duration. I like this. This is our first like defensive tank trinket. Taking damage has a chance to do that. That's our first time that we're seeing that, and that's in the Azure Vault first boss. So we're getting some good trinkets. Hey, a strength bolt. All right, so now I'm confused. Strength bolt. That's great, incredible. And then we got another little thing. Strength bolt. That's a two-hander though. I'm not seeing a lot of tank weapons though. Now hold up. Is Laymore just this guy? No. Yes? What the heck? Alright. So, looks like Azure Vault only technically has one boss. Secretly on two. Alright, let's go on to Neltharis. Alright, Chargoth, Bane of Scales. Blades. Oh, we got some flavor tests on it. The Forge Master's finest and most neglected armor. Pristine magma steppers. That's alright. You know, I like good flavor. Alright, cool. Alright, this is an agility or intellect? Oh, okay, because this one is a ranged one. We found this is I think our first this is a ranged one. This is for range. Enkindle the fragment to throw an erupting spear which deals fire damage between all enemies. The erupting flames return to you for 10 seconds, increasing your crit strike for each enemy hit, stacking up to 5 times. That's good stuff. I like that. That's cool. I feel like that's cool flavor. Fist weapons, come on back. Let's go. I love a good fist weapon. I think that they're always cool. Again, we got some. We got a ring. It's not bad. Let's look at the Scorching Forge. Forge Storm. This just is stamina on it. Crit and haste, not perfect, but I think that's gonna be our tanking mace. I think that's it. One-hander. We got some hands. It's okay. Alright, Scorchforge. I mean, not a lot going on, but I mean, some stuff. Yeah, we got everything. Magma Tusk. That just sounds cool. I'm already impressed. Alright, mutated Magmoth Scale. Clamped, your attacks have a chance to incite the scale, causing tentacles to grow from your body. The tentacles lash out, dealing fire damage split between enemies in front of you. Damage is increased for each enemy struck up to 5. This is really cool. I think that we'll probably see it a lot on your rogues and your demon hunters, your fury warriors, your kind of fast attacking boys. I would use this as a tank, but that's only if my DPS did not need it. And then we have some plate. We have a back piece. Magma Tusk. That's a pretty cool. That's a pretty cool trinket. I like trinkets. All right, let's look at Warlord Sarga. We got a shield. I can dig the shield. I can dig this mace. I'm good. I'm good with a mace. It's crit haste, not degree. Suppose I'm seeing a lot of trinkets. There's a lot of trinket work going on. Like almost every other boss has trinkets. So I haven't found a boss that doesn't. And I think it's because I think Blizzard is understanding where their gear priority is lying. That the differentiation between common specs or between any specs, because like you'll get, let's say this, that gives you both agility and intellect. So if you're a shaman, that's both your elemental spec, your restoration spec, and your enhancement spec, right? So I think that they're seeing that the only differentiation between spec gear is trinket use, right? I was talking with a friend about this last night. We were talking about the idea that it's like the difference between my DPS spec and my tanking spec, and his DPS spec and his tanking spec is swapping out trinkets, and that's it. And I have like 14 trinkets in my bags, and I don't use half of them, but I use them because it's like, oh man, I might use first sigil today. It's not gonna happen, right? But I'm liking that they notice that, and they're saying, cool, we're gonna make it so that every boss matters. Every boss has trinkets to drop, and I like that. Spoils of Neltharis. Intellect. Open the spoils and loot the first item you find, gaining its fleeting power. Your spells have a chance to jostle the spoils, reordering the treasure within. That's... See what I mean? This is good flavor. This is cool flavor. That's not just open up the spoils, you get a random debuff. This isn't roll the dice, right? It's you can be there and maybe you get a chance to see it. Maybe you're just sitting there and you're just like, all right, things open, and then I blast the color spells. Oh, cool! It's the color that I want. That's haste. Grab it. Boom. You know what I mean? Like you can, or you just open it up. It's green already. You know what I mean? Like it's that's cool flavor. That's cool integration of like I don't know, like play style because like you don't have to do that. You can just grab the first buff. You're supposed to have a chance to jostle the spoils, reordering the treasure within. Um, that's incredible. I think that's great. Sorry, I got a text. Okay. No, the Knock-Honda offense. I'm not reading any of these descriptions because I'm just trying to focus on loot. I'm sorry if you wanted me to. If you're looking at it, and you're like, but Zaf, the description. You gotta read the descriptions. Um, yeah, this means nothing. I don't know these people. The Knock-Honda, they're centaurs. Cool. All right, Granith. We got a strength. There's a lot of pole-arms going on. A lot of dragoon action. It's a trinket. See what I mean? Like, is enduring scale. Like, probably a tank trinket. A lot of scales turn out to be tank trinkets. Cough, cough. The other side. Uh, we got some plate. We got some leggings. And we got a chest piece. Cool. All right. Yeah. Nice. Are they haste mastery? Hell yeah. Haste mat. I already know where I'm starting off this place. All right. I'm starting off tanking this place. Now hold up. All right. I'm already. The Raging Tempest. What is this? All right. Ooh. An equip effect. Crit mastery, not great stats, but it is strength. It is a one-hander. Your attacks have a chance to strike out again, dealing damage. Your attacks have equipped. Your attacks have a strike out. Hey, like that's good flavor. That's good shit. Bottle of spiraling winds, another trinket that we're adding on here. Equipped, your attacks have a chance to cause winds to slowly rise to a crescendo around you, increasing your primary stat per stack, stacking up to 10 times before quickly dissipating. That is really cool. Definitely one of those like fast attacking specs, but also super useful for your tanks. A two-handed staff, some plate wrists, finger. There seems to be a lot of rain out on the Dragon Isles. Personal. Oh, you get a personal rain cloud. Huh. That's good. I like that. I don't know why I'm excited, but I'm very excited. I love new. I love doing new things. I think that's it. Feather of Ancestral Bonds. Trinket. Equip. You get an equip effect when you equip it. A second equip effect. Alright. Your spells and abilities have a chance to give you Ancestral Might of the Khans, increasing your primary stat for 15 seconds. The first time an ally within 12 yards takes damage, you both gain an additional Y primary stat for 10 seconds. That's not bad. I like that. That's actually pretty good. And it has a cool neck piece, a haste mastery neck piece. I love the haste mastery. Anything with haste mastery on it as a prop paladin, you're gonna want the haste mastery, and that's Tira and Maruk. I'm seeing a lot of like either like council fights or like best friends, Balaka Khan. Balaka Khan. I think that's what it's supposed to be, Balaka Khan. Anyway, Stormlash. Alright, I think this is our first Warglaive. Oh man, my buddy Nerf plays a Demon Hunter. I know what he's gonna want to run. He's gonna want to run some Okon defensive Storm Slash. I want to read this out. It's not for paladins, but I do want to read it out because it has an equip effect. Your attacks have a chance to cause winds to sliders around you. All right, maybe that's the actual effect. Maybe that's not. Who knows? Could be totally wrong. Some daggers. Plate shoulders though. I think these are the first plate shoulders we've seen. Could be wrong. All right. Bracken Hide Hollow. I think this is the last one. Bracken Hide Hollow. Hat Claws Warband. Again, little council fight. Ring. Frenzying Signal Flare. Excellent name. Perfect name. 10 out of 10 with the name. While in combat, has a chance to attack 3 gnolls to ambush your target, dealing physical damage to it, poisoning it for medium natural damage over 10 seconds, and casting a stab buff on your highest second. Holy crap! What? Absolutely. this is a. I like this one a lot. I like that one a lot. I think it has good flavor. I think it has cool interaction. It's on hits, not an on use, which everybody loves. Everybody hates on use trinkets. I find that people hate on use trinkets, and honestly, the on use trinkets that I have seen, they are not terrible. I think that they are actually really good. Some of them are like, like there's obviously going to be ones that are better than others, but this one is really good. Frenzy and Signal Flare from Hacklaw's Warband in Breckenhide Hall. First boss. Two-handed polearm, even water-worn and tattered, Cook's craftsmanship still holds. That's pretty cool. I like that they're adding a little flavor text onto it. Two-handers. People are going to want to come here. Alright, Tree Mouth. Guy has a tree for a mouth. Festering Splinters. Yeah, I think that they're doubling down on trinkets this expansion. Open a festering wound and gaining a massive absorb shield while losing 5% of your max health every second for the same duration or until the shield is dispelled or broken. I want to see the number on that absorb shield. Because that's huge. That's massive. And abso-fucking-lutely. This is the... I love that. I like the... I do like the idea of like sacrificing power to gain more power. I like the idea. I find that a lot of people are scared of it. I like it as a tank though. As a tank, I like that. Gaining a massive absorb shield for 5 seconds. So you end up losing 25% of your max health. That's fine, baby. No worries. 25% of my max health down to 75% health. Not a big deal. I will take those odds. I like that. Little two-handed mace. I've seen a lot of two-handed maces. Interesting to see where they go with weapons. Crossbow. Is this the... We have not seen a lot that are just no trinkets. Very interesting. Decatriarch Rathai. Sure. Let's take a look. Yeah, this. A one-handed intellect mace. Some play ahead. Idol of Pure Decay. Let's look at the Evelyn. No, okay. The Idol of Pure Decay. Your damaging abilities have a chance to apply decomposition on the target, dealing small nature damage over 15 seconds. Next 10 instances of damage you would deal to the composing target during that time, dealing additional medium nature damage. I like it. It's not like overwhelming. I've seen a lot of trinkets that I'm like, yes, absolutely. Oh my goodness, the flavor. This is cool. This has cool use. Look at this. Like this is the sacrifice of power. This kind of stuff. This one I'm a little underwhelmed with. I think it'll be again. I think it'll be like one of those things that like give it to your rogue, give it to your demon hunter, you give it to your fury warrior, give it to your fast hitting targets, right? Your fast hitting boys, your slippy slabs. But it also has intellect on it, so like you could throw that, you throw it on, you could put that on like your druids, your balanced druids. Put it on your dark classes, your shadow priests, your affliction warlocks, your kind of like fast hitting things. Your stuff that's ticking all the time, right? But that's only if those stay the same way. I think that you get a lot of use out of it for your slow hitting targets. I'm not saying that like arms warriors can never use this, or like ret paladins can't use it. I think that whenever it says like your damaging abilities, you always want it to have more faster hitting damaging abilities, right? Although there's a lot of speculation as to like if you have like a slower character that they have a higher chance to proc, but I don't know. We don't know yet which dungeons will be part of Mythic Season 1, but in an interview with Ian Hazzikostas, we learned that the first season will contain 4 Dragonflight dungeons and 4 older ones, including Cortazars and Temple of the Jade Serpent. We've also data mined loading screens for several of the dungeons as well. I'm gonna click on this loading screens. I kind of want to see these. Azurvolt, that looks rad. All right. I'm getting big Nexus vibes, big, we're talking like the Oculus kind of vibes, like that. Ruby Life Pools, this is nice. Pretty rad. Alright, cool. Tazelgeth Academy. Yeah. Good. We're going to school, kids. You gotta choose between. Hey, what is this? You gotta choose between. Are you going to be Ravenclaw, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, or Obsidian? Uh, Oldman, Legacy of Tyr. This looks really cool. Oh, that is so cool. Especially if you're familiar with Oldman, like you know this. You know this hallway. You know this hallway. It's right at the beginning. These are really cool. I like these loading screens. They're really rad. It says okay, 4 of the 8 new dungeons. So I feel like we can safely assume. I don't want to make I mean like I don't know if we can safely assume anything. But I imagine that these would be the first 4 dungeons that you can access, and then when you hit max level, you get the other 4. I'm thinking that that's what's gonna happen. Or you get the other 2 as you level up. Who knows? Um, yeah, no, this is really cool stuff. I'm liking it. I like the trinkets. I like that they're really doubling down on the trinkets. I feel like they're really going all in on trinket usage and trinket compatibility and trinket synergy and trying to find trinkets that work. That essentially not even differentiate between your tank and your healer spec, but like between these, if I had half of these trinkets, or at least like the ones that your prop paladins can use, right? If I have those, I can change up my playstyle depending on the fight, right? If I know there's going to be a lot of if I know there's going to be a lot of standing still, I can obviously use the raid horn. If I know that I can, level up that batter up, right? If I know that there's like a point in time where I have just like a little bit of downtime, I know that I can get good use out of that. You know what I mean? Uh, and there's a lot of things, um, that it's like, oh yeah, we need a little bit more damage. Okay, I'll switch over to, you know, whatever. I'll switch over to scale fragment. I have no idea, right? I think that that's cool. I think that ability to switch out your trinkets and they work almost as like pseudo talents. I think that's really interesting. But I definitely think they're doubling down on the idea of using trinkets as a way to establish uh I don't know, like a dynamic interaction in between specs. Difference of interaction. I'm not going to be using the same, but I might be using the same trinkets. But like, you don't, you almost want it to like fit a play style. And I like that they're really doubling down on trinkets. It doesn't seem like I was like, oh, I'm looking for the tank trinket, right? And it doesn't seem like there's any of that. It's like this is definitely tank. This is definitely DPS. This is definitely like there are some that are like this is definitely healer, and there are some that are like this is better for your fast hitting DPS, and there are others that are like this is better for your melee, this is better for tanks, but it's not explicitly that, and I think that's really cool. Um, Follow along for more. I'm gonna continue to do breakdowns like this. First looks. I kind of wanted to do an overview of abilities and be like, this is how the fight might happen. But I feel like that's a lot of work to go through. That's a long video. If you guys really want it, I'll do it. Go through, do like an overview. But I also don't think that there's enough actual information on the abilities. Like, oh, this will stun anybody who comes in contact. Don't stand in the resonating orb. Done. Tank mechanic complete. You know what I mean? This can remove stun effects. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I feel like that's the kind of thing that like I need to run it in order to figure it out. I can't read like a guide, but that's me personally. Right. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed my little gear breakdown. What we should be looking at. I would love to say like, oh, you should absolutely run X, Y, or Z. This is what you should be prioritized running. Because they all have valid stuff to get. So it's hard to say like, oh, you gotta run Nakun defensive because you absolutely want, I don't know, this this sword, right? It's like that's really cool, probably, but also you're gonna want to run anything else to get a big variety of trinkets, right? I think that's going to be the name of the game, is getting a variety of trinkets, especially after you've gotten incidental gear and you have like your item level all the way up. You're probably running heroic, right? Then you're going to be focusing on like, okay, now I need a 250 version of whatever, of strike twice, right? So I don't think that there's any specific dungeon that you're like absolutely have to run, especially as a tank. It's not like you're a demon hunter who absolutely needs to get the warglaive off of somebody, right? You're not a hunter that specifically needs a crossbow or a bow or a gun or something, right? Um, like there's not like I feel like for tank you have a little bit more flexibility with your gear. You're not as held down to be like, okay, there's only two places that drop warglaives and I gotta run those, or these are only the 4 instances that drop a ranged weapon, I gotta run those. I don't think that it's like that. I think that it will be like you're gonna pick one. You're gonna say, this one has the best stats. Like I keep referencing, or is it strike twice? That's a crit mastery. I like the equip effect, but it is crit mastery, and there's probably going to be a one-handed weapon that's haste mastery, which is closer to what you want as a tank, as a paladin tank. You're gonna want haste mastery. So you'll probably run that, but then you'll also run whatever to get the haste mastery, uh, uh, not polearm, haste mastery one-hander, and that's just to get your stats up. After a certain item level, your stats just kind of catch up with you naturally. You obviously want to prioritize like your best in slot stats, right? But it's not gonna make or break you like it will in those first couple months. Let's see if we can find a. And what's hard is that I'm like looking through here and I'm like, oh yeah, like this. Oh, this agility mace, and it's like I don't know if that's just an agility mace. I don't know if that's gonna be agility strength. I don't know if that's agility. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be. We still have some learning to do. That's how I feel. We still got some learning to do. I'm trying to see. Even now, I'm like, show me a haste mastery one-hander. I'll find one. And if there's one that doesn't exist, we know we can be like, all right, well, there's not one that exists. That's the end. That's the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's the end of that. That's right, but no. This one. Crit haste. Okay. That's a dagger. Crit haste. Ugh. Shield crit haste. Crit mastery. Not bad. Not nothing. See, like demon hunters are gonna want to be running knock on offensive. I know it. Right off the bat, they're gonna want to be running it. Easily, they're gonna want to be running it, right? So strike twice so far. That's our best in the slot. Oh yeah, there's two warglaives that drop in this instance. No, that was a pull-in. There is a warglaive that does drop in this instance. I'm not seeing. Haze Mastery. Boom. Okay, first boss, Breckenhide Hollow. That's what you're gonna want to run. That's best in slot. That you're gonna want to be running that, and you're gonna be wanting to run Nakun Defensive second boss. That's it. That's all you're gonna want. Best in slot stats. And that's if stat priority remains the same. They could let out some freaking hard-hitting, kick-ass talent in Dragonflight that's like, equal to your chance on crit. Like they could completely rework Paladin. I don't think they will, but they could, right? And but if they don't, and I don't think they will, I think Paladin has always been in a good spot. I think that it's always stayed close to the mid pack. I think that it's done that pretty effectively. But like Ancestral Stone Saber, I think that'll be your. This is a two-hander. Wait a minute. No. No. Oh no, guys. Oh no. We don't have a one-hander. You kidding me? We don't have a one-hander? The whole time? Alright, well, never mind. Best in slot, strike twice. I just think that the chance for you to strike out twice, that is just worth it. That is worth sacrificing some haste on. You pick up haste on literally every other piece of gear. That's all you got. It's silly. There's no haste mastery one-handers. That could change too. This is just our first looks. This is first looks at this gear. Just my first impressions. Love the trinkets. No haste mastery weapons. That's insane. You want to pick up haste mastery stuff. Haste mastery, that is your best in slot things for all paladin tanking. I think haste mastery are top 2 for ret. I actually think it's mastery crit. I don't think they focus as much on haste, but they might. I'm not as familiar with where ret has been. I've only been playing prot, so it's a little rough. Uh, but yeah, no. I wish I had more. I wish I was like, oh, you're definitely. I guess you're definitely gonna want to run. Uh, you're definitely gonna want to run the knock-on defensive. That's what you're definitely gonna want. Everybody's gonna be running knock-on defensive. Anybody that can use a one-handed sword is going to be running this strictly for that attack, strictly for the equip. They're gonna want that. I think that above all else. I think as soon as like I think you're gonna see some single-minded fury that are going after that. I think you're gonna see some outlaw rogues. Outlaw rogue is crazy right now. I think you're gonna see some outlaw rogues. I think you're gonna see demon hunters. They're gonna be looking for this. They're gonna be looking for that sword. All right. Keep an eye out for Nakun defensive. Let's keep an eye out for how strike twice works. And who knows? Maybe we get to it and we're like, actually, that sword is worse. It's terrible for some reason. It doesn't, do as much as we wanted, right? Like maybe it does, or maybe it's they change it to an on use and it suddenly becomes useless. I don't know. So anything could happen. Right, this is very early on. These are alpha builds. Alpha builds. Things will change, friends. But I like what I'm seeing. I do. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, obviously. If you hated this video, send it to your ex. I'll annoy the heck out of her. Or him. Or them. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching this far. I kind of wish I had more to show you guys. But thank you guys for stopping in. Thank you for looking this far. Maybe we'll cover something else on the next time. Mythic Plus rotation. Pre-patch event. A pre-patch event. Alright, I'm not going to get into it. I'll keep going. Alright. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Great day. And if I don't know. If I don't see you in the next one, have a great life. Peace.